Hello dear viewer, this is Mfest's Noise Stuff and today we are going to talk about the 2025 Years Revisited. And we are on episode 20 right now, so this year was okay. We get to that as we revisit the time. So, yeah, let's revisit the year. So, 2025. The year that had highlights and bad stuff at the same time. Let's talk about let's go first on the music category. So let's see, what do we have here? We'll start off with the bad ones, the Rotten Tomatoes. It goes down in the list, so we start from the fives to the zeros. So Ghost Skeletor for with album, the recent album. Sorry about that. The recent Ghost album called Skeletor is a 4.7 out of 10 because let's face it, there's some. If you heard the album, you may find some cheesy moments, and I don't like those cheesy moments because they're trying to replicate the 80s style of metal or rock, and it doesn't work for me because one, it sounds like a random band has just gone frozen in time, just like Captain America, and then only woke up in like the 2010s to 2020s, and they decided to carry on making this type of music, even though we already moved on from those music styles. So I mean, I understand where they're coming from and why people like it, but it's not for me. So I don't like it. It may be in the landfill collection, but I mean, who wants the album in the landfill collection? So yeah, next up is Maroon 5's Love Is Like. Oh shoot, I forgot to clarify that. Yeah, this album is bad, not because it's auto-tuned or, well, there is auto-tune and there's auto-tune and there's other stuff, but as an album, I thought, well, the reason why I don't like the album is because most of the songs are not only short, but they're pretty similar. Like, I get the ideas of them, and it feels more like a compilation than an album, which is my biggest ick. Yet it's supposed to be an album, and well, many people didn't like it. I don't like it I mean, I would have find it okay because most of the songs have good ideas. It's just they kept on repeating the same style a bit. Like, I'm glad that the guitar and bass contributions are more shining, though the drums shouldn't be electronic, if you catch my drift. So yeah. Next up, we're going very bad. The Hives Forever have a Hives album. My sister and my mom saw them live. I did not because I don't want to see them live. To be honest, I'm not a big The Hives fan, and I kind of don't like their music. When my sister introduced me to, like, I don't know, their most big song, like Say I Told You So or something, and I heard the vocals, I immediately wanted to jump off the car. Jesus Christ. Well, I didn't do that, obviously, but my instincts tell me, oh Jesus, this singer's just bad. Thankfully, in this album, the singer improved, but not a much, because there's some good hooks, but at the same time, it's sung, and the lyrics are pretty weak. And face it, the album title is pretty much egotistical. Even if it's humorous, I don't get it. It's not funny. It's not even trying to be funny. If it were, it would have been done Tenacious D style songs, but no, it's just ugh. And then we got President's King of Terrors, which the band President were in download this year, and to be honest, I didn't get the hype at all. Like, it just, like, as soon as I looked at the band name, I was like, okay, maybe I don't like the band name, but maybe they could make some good music. And then I looked at the mask, and I'm like, oh shoot, this is gonna be one of those industry plants, isn't it? And yeah, they focused on the promotion, on all the marketing on the album, which big hats, I guess, but I don't like the album because one, they tuned the vocals way up, like put some pitch shifter on something, which is one of the main grips, and obviously I don't like overproduced music, so, and I don't like drum machines that are just or whatever the heck that is, like, ugh. And I mean, there's some good ideas in the music, like the melodic lines, but I don't like this as much. I'm sorry, I generally don't like this. Like, Jesus Christ. I can at least stand the snare from Saint Anger. Yeah, that's how bad President's debut EP is. Yeah, now we get to Buckcherry's Roar Like Thunder. The album's kind of awful. It started off a bit okay, but then it goes to the usual Buckcherry stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Yeah, you can tell I didn't. Yeah, on everything under 2.5 is where everything under 2.6 is where I hate, is where the hate zone is. So, yeah, I kinda hate this album. Now, next up is Puddle Mudd's Kiss Machine. I thought the first album was okay, or at least kinda bad, but not too bad, but still decent. But ay, this album is a huge step down. I mean, I haven't heard the other albums, and if I did, I would have disliked the music, or at least found the music okay. I don't know. So, but judging by how people say their best album is like Come Clean, which was the album I heard from them in like this year, just to check if the album was good or at least decent or bad or like other people say. And now this one, I had to listen to it because it's 2025. I have to look back at every single album, and if I can't look back on every single album, that means I couldn't bother or I forgot. So, and oh Jesus, I had to listen to this album, even though it's short, just like Buckcherry's Roar Like Thunder. Thank God. It's still awful in this album. Like, there's so many. I mean, the song Maniac is the worst of them all. I don't want this song to exist. It's like a 0 out of 10. But this album is a 1.8 out of 10 because I know one thing that's kinda worse, and that is A.K.A.'s What No One's Thinking EP. Now, before you hold your horses, some of the ideas are good. Like, the music itself is improving. Like, not electronically, but more like soft acoustic, which I'm fine with, but the melody's weak, not as strong as the Click. The lyrics are slightly improving. That's a compliment because the A.K.A.'s Click album was like a 0.4, whilst this is a 1.7. So that's something, but the vocals are still kind of bad, and there are points of hiccup the lyrics where it's just kind of bad. So yeah. Then we get to how deep of a hate zone is, the 0.2s. Number 2 on the worst album of all time, MJK's Lost Americana. Jesus Christ, people were right about this one. Okay, but hold your horses. Some of the music ideas are good. But, sorry about the sneeze or something. Not a sneeze, but you know. But, MJK's still bad at singing. Jesus Christ. And what I mean by still, I haven't even heard any of the albums, but based on his voice, I just don't like it. I mean, I kind of hate it. Though, to be fair, my favorite song in the album is the last song because there are good ideas on the last song. It's just the vocals are... And also oh, don't forget the lyrics. Jesus Christ, the lyrics. Yeah, now next up is... Oh, I have to talk about this album and this artist, huh? Oh well, if that's what the year recommends me, because now I have to do more effort in this, so yeah. Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl album. I mean, the first track has good instrumentation, though. The chorus goes by an extra bar, which was unnecessary. And, okay, to be fair, the lyrics suck out loud, so... Yeah, and obviously Taylor Swift sounds like every other pop star girl, which I don't get why people love her specifically when there's other girls who is similar in her music style. Like, huh? Like, Jesus Christ. And this album lyrically is just a disaster. It's worse than 1989, where... I mean, 1989, I don't like... I mean, I hate 1989 because it's overrated as hell, and most of the pop songs are stuck in my head, and Taylor Swift's bragging about her ex-boyfriends and all that stuff, which annoys the hell out of me. So, yeah, I only heard 2 Taylor Swift albums, this one included, and this sucks. And 1989 also sucks, so yeah, now that's the end of the bad albums and awful albums, which will soon end up in the Landfill collection if you want me to review them. So yeah, now we get to the decent albums, the ones that are like at least 5 to 7.5 out of 10. So we start off with going up. So Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend, which means the first Sabrina Carpenter album I've ever heard. I know some songs like Espresso, which I thought was okay, or at least kinda good because it's kinda catchy, but at the same time, I mean, the first time I heard this song wasn't even this song itself, it's like some other band who covered it. And I thought the band's cover was really good. Probably better than the Sabrina's version, but still. And then what do I mean by heard the band version of something? Well, I mean, there was the Tuesday groups where I used to go to until like the start of my college in 2024, which I loved that. And I mean, I occasionally go back to those live performances just in case, because I'm like invited by my friend Jay. Okay, I won't say his name, but you get the point. I mean, I won't say his name because personal reasons. I don't want to not expose, but like, I don't want to. Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, this album is kind of decent. Like, there's some weird lyrics here and there, and the music kind of gets bad at points, but most of the music is okay. So yeah, next up we have Rise Against Ricochet. I mean, the first time I heard Rise Against was like a song called Save It, and I pretty much loved the song. Though when I heard this album, there's some, I'll tell you this, it's not as bad as people think. Yes, the production is pretty awful at points, and there's some songs that are filler-esque or just, I don't know, radio rockish, like All I Want or something. No, wait. Yeah, see, I can't even name the songs in this album, but to be fair, the positives, at least, there's like a good song, a great song, in fact. Probably my favorite song is the Damage Is Done song, which is track 4. I mean, if the production was good, if they knew what they were doing in production wise, then I could tolerate the album a bit more. I mean, I don't mind butt rock as long as it's not too butt rock. I mean, like, I could defend Stained right here because, first of all, Stained is the kind of butt rock that I actually enjoy because they have the melodies, even if the lyrics aren't 100% right at points, especially 14 Shades of Grey. I can still enjoy the melodies, and to be honest, it's not even butt rock at this point. It's just post grunge, and mixed with a bit of alternative metal. But anyways, yeah, Rise Against Ricochet is decent. It's not that bad. I mean, I get where the bad's coming from because the production in this album is pretty much horrendous, and there's some bad songs, but overall it's decent. And then we get to Sleep Tokens, Even Arcadia. This album took me a while to at least kinda find it decent. Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, I didn't like the album because of 1, the trap beats, 2, the vocals, which aren't my type, and 3, the instrumentation being overproduced as hell, like, and 4, some songs being way too longer than it should. So yeah, but overall I did enjoy some songs. Provider is a great example. My favorite is even the self-titled track, which, to be fair, has nothing wrong with it. It's just, I mean, the vocals are kind of, vocally, but you get the point. So yeah, I mean, I don't get people hating the album, but I do. I mean, I kind of do, but at the same time I don't, and I don't get why people love it, and I don't get why people hate it, and I'm just in between, okay? So yeah, next up we have 3 Days Grace, Alienation. Yeah, this album kind of disappointed me because I expected better music. Like, I mean, obviously Mayday was like, at least kind of good, and then Apologies shown the best sides of 3 Days Grace I've heard in a while, which, I mean, there's some great songs in the past works as well, but still. Yeah, Apologies and Kill Me Fast are my favorite songs in the Alienation album. Other than that, there's some good to decent songs. I mean, yeah. So, yeah. Next up, we have Hayley Williams' Ego Death at the Bachelorette Party, which is a 7.3 out of 10, and mainly because there's some fillers in the album, and there's at least one bad song. I mean, there's 20 songs in the album. Jesus Christ, could you at least cut down the album? But overall, it's not bad. It's just decent. It's almost kind of good because there's some great songs like the cover of Discovery Channel. Is it a cover? Maybe it is. And what song was this? I mean, there was one song that I rated a 10 out of 10. It was hold up. It was the song "Negative Self-Talk," which is my favorite song from Hayley's album. Hayley Williams, by the way, if you don't know who Hayley Williams is, she's the lead vocalist of Paramore. Speaking of Paramore, yeah, some songs are about, well, the first song is, which, even though it's weird instrumentally and production-wise, and maybe lyrically wise, I get where she's coming from because the words "I'm in a band" can be taken in way more ways than one. Like, obviously that's gonna be like, oh, maybe she's just showing off, like, oh, I'm in a band, you know, or guys, I'm in a band. Jesus Christ, I'm not the only. Paramore is a band, not a solo project. Jesus Christ. And yeah, I kind of get the frustration, you know, because I mean, to be fair, we all would be frustrated if someone would call our I mean, to be fair, I would be frustrated if someone called my band like solo project, even though most of the music in the debut album is made by me, but still. We got to Cyberbullying, Addicted to the Violence. I mean, this album is kind of disappointing to me because, one, I loved their debut album, which was like 2008, I think. But then I heard this album and there were some weak points. The first song is pretty much my least favorite because it's everything I expect from Cyberbullying. Nothing challenging, nothing too crazy, nothing too... Yeah, you get the point. And, I mean, this album has some good songs, but at the same time some decent ones. I mean, some songs Darren sounds like he doesn't care anymore, which is... okay, but, you know, and some lyrics are kind of weird, but overall this album is decent, and it's not bad. Now we get to the good albums, so... We start off with Baby Metal's Metal Forth, which is a 7.6 out of 10, which... I mean... It's a disappointing album for Baby Metal standards, but in terms of album standards in general, it's still a good album. I mean, the problems I have with this album is that most of the collaborations in this album, which take off a lot of the space in the album, kinda don't make the album flow as a cohesive album, more like just a compilation album, which, if this were a compilation album, I would have kinda took the album a bit high. I mean, the first track has good melodies in the chorus, even though it's produced as hell, like overproduced in my opinion. And, I mean, some of the collaborations I don't like. I mean, I don't mind, but I don't get the hype for, like, what was it, Electric Callboy or something. Poppy is kind of overrated, but I'll get to Poppy's music as soon as I listen to it, if I need to listen to it, so... And, I mean, oh yeah, the worst Baby Metal song is in this album. Try guess which one. It's the one with Tom Morello on it. Now, hear me out, okay? The instrumentation by Tom Morello, like the guitar solo, is pretty good. And the lyrics are not bad, but the melody and the song itself is executed a bit poorly. If you know what I mean. Like, which the song is Metalli, so... But my favorite song is Sunset Kiss and maybe the... what other song was it? The My Queen or something? But other than that, I mean, there's too many collaborations which kind of ruin the album in some ways. Because, one... it doesn't feel like a Baby Metal album, but still it's good. Now we get to Tyler, the Creator's Don't Tap the Glass, which I've heard 2 albums only. This one and Igor. Igor was requested by one of my old friends, as an ex, because, you know, I did some bad stuff like last year. But still, let's get to the point of Tyler, the Creator. I thought the album was kind of good because, one, it's I mean, the reason why it's not in like amazing territories because one, the production and some of the drum machines are eh, like overproduced a bit, like well, way too loud. Like some of it is clipping at points, which kind of ruin the album, I guess. But I mean, there's some great songs though. I cannot sing along to all the songs because most of the songs have words that I'm not going to say because if I do say it, it's gonna make me racist. And obviously, Tyler, the creator, and is allowed to say the words because he's not white. So unless if I have a pass, which I don't, well, I cannot say those words and I cannot sing along to most of the songs. Even if some songs are really good at hype energy and like especially the first track. But other than that, yeah, it's good. Next up we have Chevelle's Brightest Blasphemy, which compared to their previous album Neratas, which was one of my favorite albums of all time, by the way, yeah, a bit disappointing, but still it has some good moments. Like the first track is really powerful, even if the vocals are a bit too high, and some melodies are a bit weird, and songs are a bit weird as well, like A.K.A. Camps or something. I forgot the name. I'm literally reading a script on like the list of albums and stuff I have to talk about. But yeah, there's some good songs in this album and some okay songs and maybe a bit bad ones, but other than that, it's solid. Now we get to the amazing albums and EPs. We start off with Trivium's Struck Dead EP, which only has 3 songs. Well, and they're all great. And my favorite one is the last song, 6 Chambers. Pretty much this EP goes better when you hear like from track 1 it's 9.3, track 2 is 9.6, track 3 is 9.9, which is how logical conclusion works. But yeah. The reason why I don't like the track 1 as much because some drums get weird in the outro and the screams are not as powerful as Ascendancy, but I mean they're healthy screams, so that's that. And it's pretty much strong as always. Like Trivium's always made good work and great work. They never disappoint me, even if they made the Crusade has some decent songs and not great music. It's still, I mean, Trivium's still making good music as of now. Like, come on, man. So yeah, now we get to Judas' second studio album, All That You Are. Oh shoot, I forgot to rank the other album, Lost Souls. I forgot to rank this album, but anyways, Judas' All That You Are is a great album, though it's kind of disappointing because their debut album was like one of the best albums ever and probably one of the best albums I've ever heard. But in this album, even though the vocals are more listenable and more heard, some songs' melodies are a bit weird, which kind of drag the album down. But at the same time, this album also has classics such as Saved by You and my favorite song by Judas of all time, possibly, which is Baby Please. God damn, I love Baby Please, by the way. So I don't get how people didn't check out this song. It should have reached 10 million views by now, or at least higher, because Baby Please by Judas is a masterpiece. One thing I'd like to mention as well, before we get to Deftones, is in third place of best albums this year, it's This Consequence by Killswitch Engage, which I almost forgot to mention this album, even though it came out this year. And I mean, this album was a slight downgrade from their previous album Atonement, but the fact that they're still killing it shows how consistent they are. Like, there's some really great songs, amazing songs such as Aftermath, though the autotune parts can ruin the album a bit. Though the band is still killing it as always, even though my favorite album is like their second studio album. But This Consequence is another great addition to their discography in general. Like, it's probably in fourth place as of talking about this album. Fourth place of best Killswitch Engage albums. Fifth coming in with like their self-titled from 2009, and yeah, actually it's the fifth place because I forgot there's another album in the list. But yeah, fifth place. Yeah, this Atonement is pretty much third place on best 2025 albums, and I love the album because, as I mentioned, there's great songs like Aftermath and some great other songs that are really good, like I Believe, and yeah. Also, note to self, I actually checked back the Lore album by Lost Souls, and this album is a 9.6 out of 10, so it's 6th place on my favorite albums of all time for this. Well, 6th place of this year's best albums, so which is tied with Trivium's Struck Dead EP, so yeah, just to let you know. So anyways, yeah. Then we get to Deftones' private album, Private Music, which took me a while to say it's amazing because originally I heard it and I thought it was great, but not amazing. I mean, to be fair, every album after Around the Fur was like at least great or amazing, but not as, you know, powerful as the first two albums of Deftones. But still, in my opinion, yes, you heard what I said. I rank White Pony as a 9.6, so yeah. Anyways, Private Music's a 9.7 out of 10 because some songs I'm getting used to some other songs. Though my least favorite song in the album is still Souvenir because the melody is weird, obviously. I mean, the lyrics are on point. Musically, it's mostly on point. I mean, it's not as overproduced as other albums, but yeah. It's pretty much my second favorite album of this year. Now, we get to my favorite album of the year. For now, because I don't know what is... For now, because I haven't heard every album. But we get to Nine Inch Nails' Tron Ares soundtrack, which I was surprised at how good it was. I mean, obviously it's a soundtrack and most of it is instrumentals, which you get the idea. And yeah, this album is actually pretty much amazing. I mean, it's not in the 9.9 or 10 out of 10 leagues, but it's pretty close. It's probably my third favorite Nine Inch Nails album, because there's a lot of instrumentals. Even though there's a lot, the songs are really good, and there's some songs with vocals, so at least I don't have a fatigue of instrumental songs, unlike Ghosts 1 to 4, which even though that album is pretty amazing, I mean, the album should have been shortened, but still, yeah. And then we get to the notable ones I already heard, such as Linkin Park's From Zero Deluxe. I mean, Up From a Bottom by Linkin Park is one of my favorite songs in the Deluxe, though there's also my least favorite, which is Unshattered. I mean, Unshattered is probably my least favorite song, and I don't like that song. But yeah, this album, the album From Zero is decent and good. I don't know, it's between decent and good, to be fair. So, and Green Day Saviors Deluxe is, like I said, kind of good or decent, because there's some good songs and then there's some weird songs. Stay Young is pretty much my favorite Deluxe song in the album, though the lyrics get repetitive, but I do love the energy and the melody on this one. And the power, and it's pretty powerful emotionally and musically. We get to Avenged Sevenfold's new single, which was released this month, which is Magic, which it's decent. I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of chaotic, though it took me a while to say it's decent and at least tolerable. I don't get why people don't like the song. I mean, it's probably YouTube compression, but still. Yeah. Then we get the Drowning Pool singles. Jesus Christ, I don't like Drowning Pool. Ever since 2010, Drowning Pool's already been bad since 2010. Like, I mean, their last decent album was like 2007, but ever since that, every album is just bad. You know, like, there's some terrible songs. Like, it's not even Drowning Pool sounding, and yet it's now considered their main sound, which, I hate to be reminded by that, but yeah. I mean, the recent singles are I mean, they got the old vocalist from like the 2007 to 2010s era back, but at the same time it doesn't do much, so then we get to Lamb of God's two recent 3 singles, because I mean the Black Sabbath cover of like Children of the Grave is actually pretty good, whilst the 2 recent singles are kind of decent. So I mean, Lamb of God never fails to disappoint me, though I haven't ranked all of the albums yet, but still, you get the point. Mudvayne's recent singles are pretty good as well, so I mean, I don't get why people don't like Mudvayne's music after like 2003 or something. Like, Jesus Christ, Mudvayne's music is still okay, maybe the 2008 album, not 2008, 2009. Excuse me, the self-titled album may be a bit okay, or maybe even bad at some point. But I haven't ranked the album, so I cannot say if it's bad or decent or good. So for the fifth album, but for recent singles, they're pretty solid. Stitches and Stones is pretty much my favorite out of the two recent singles. So yeah, now we get to the albums that I did listen to, which is Drake's recent album, Some Sexy Songs for You, and the Doghouse single, which, let's be honest, I'm not listening to that album for now because one, Drake's controversial. Two, I don't like Drake's music, to be fair. I don't remember which. I haven't even heard any of Drake's famous songs, to be honest. So, I mean, I may have, I may not. I don't know. I don't remember them. So yeah. And I heard the Doghouse single for like a few seconds. I thought the guitar work was good until we get to the usual Drake sound, which was a bad transition, by the way. And I've just quit the song, so I cannot check out any of the 2025 releases of Drake for now. So. Yeah, and then we get to the Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow and Sao Paulo single. Even though I like the song Blinded by the Lights, which I admit is a bop, I'm not listening to the Weeknd because one, the album's way too long. Two, I can't. I didn't have enough time because I had to listen to all the recent albums in 2025 at the last minute, which was like yesterday or the day before. But you get the point. So yeah, Skrillex's recent album, I'll just say that I haven't heard it because I'm not a big fan of the, dubstep or something like that. And I mean, I heard some songs from Hit Me Where It Hurts EP from one of my classes when my teacher was showing this EP, and I may check it out in the future with other albums, but for now I don't think I could for now because I have a lot of lists to do. I have a lot of things to do as well. So next up we have Filter's the recent album, or deluxe edition, something like that, ultra edition of the Algorithm album, which I haven't heard because I forgot that this existed, kinda. I mean, to be fair, I only heard one Filter album and it was pretty amazing. It used to be one of my favorite albums, like the title of record used to be one of my favorites, but there's some moments where the music gets at least samey a bit and kind of drags down, so yeah. And now you can enjoy me as I talk about, and now we get to talk about the movies, so the parts where you want to watch the video, because the video is going to be like 1 hour, I guess. So DreamWorks made 3 movies this year: How to Train Your Dragon live action, and The Bad Guys 2 movie, and Dogman. How to Train Your Dragon, I'm not getting it. I mean, the live action movie, Toothless's design is pretty good, though it kind of feels out of place. I mean, I haven't seen any of the movies this year, besides one movie, which we'll get to talk about later. But yeah, I've been so busy to music that I've forgot to watch any movies, and even if I'm not busy, I don't want to watch movies anymore. Like, something in me snapped. I was like, hell no, I'm not watching any movies, because one, the movies look boring. That's it. They're not appealing to me. They're not the type of movies I would want to watch. Besides, if Cars 4 were to come out this year, then I would have watched Cars 4. But I'm not. Yeah, no. Yeah, this is what happens when I'm busy. So, yeah, this movie is based on the critical reviews. There's some good positives and bad positives, and negatives and positives, and I can't say for the movie because I'm not watching it. Same with The Bad Guys 2, though there's more positives for that movie, but still, I've only watched some memes, and based on those, I'm not watching the movie because they're not bad, it's just mid. Dogman, however, how the hell did I think I shouldn't watch the movie? Jesus Christ, I should have watched the movie, but I didn't have a chance to, because let's face it, my parents didn't let me watch the movie for some reason. Not that it's inappropriate, it's because they forgot, probably. So yeah. And Pixar's only movie this year was Elio, which is probably my least favorite Pixar movie. And I haven't even watched the movie. Based on the trailers, I was like, Hell no, I'm not watching the movie. It looks boring as hell. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, the early Pixar movies are really great because they have different identities, but the recent ones, this Elio kind of reminds me of Onward, which, yikes. Yeah. Now we get to the Disney movies, which, let's talk about the ones that are close. So like the good ones that I haven't watched. Zootopia 2. It's most people love the movie, and for me, I'm not watching it because one, I'm not a big fan of Zootopia, and two, I hope I'm not near those creepy people that just want to look at the bunny, if you catch my drift. But yeah, and then we get to Avatar 3 Fire and Ash, which I haven't watched the movie either, but I only watched like 2 Avatar movies and they're good, I guess. But I may not watch Avatar 3 unless my dad has the DVD soon and forces me to watch it, and I have to watch it. So yeah, I bet this album's, I bet this movie's gonna be like 3 hours once again. Jesus Christ. Or two, I don't know how long the movie is, so to be fair, I don't know. So Tron Ares. Speaking of Tron Ares, the Nine Inch Nails album was really great, but the movie, why does it have Jared Leto from... Let's face it, Jared Leto is not only a decent to bad actor, but he's also recently a bad musician, based on how many negative reviews are on the recent albums from 30 Seconds to Mars, and the fact that he's in a cult, like his own island propaganda, treating himself as Jesus Christ, though the island looks like an Epstein Island looking like, is questionable. And the fact that he has controversy and Hollywood still invites him because he's good looking. Jesus Christ, Hollywood. But yeah, I'm not watching Tron Ares, so... And then we talk about Captain America Braves the New World. I'm not watching the movie because obviously it's Falcon, and I have no problems with the Falcon and Bucky and Red Hulk. It's just, based on reviews, it's, yeah, if you cannot tell, I've lost all hope for a lot of movies because, let's face it, I mean, the only movies I watch are the movies I loved, which is in the DVD section, like the Cars movies, Wall-E, and Transformers movies, etc., etc. But yeah, I couldn't bother watching that movie. I couldn't bother any of those movies. And then we get to the live-action movies, Lilo and Stitch, which, to be honest, the Stitch design looks really good. I mean, I'm not watching the movie because I'm not big fans of like Lilo and Stitch, but I mean, I've heard some complaints about the movie being a tiny bit inaccurate to the source material, and the positives being the design works pretty well, and I mean, to each their own, I guess. So yeah, then we get to the worst movie of Disney this year is Snow White's live action. Back last year, like when the live action was leaked and you know the dwarfs are shown, it was like, what the, and people, critics and maybe even fans were like, what the hell is this? I was like that as well. Like I was like, what the hell? And then Rachel Zegler, which I have no problem with her as Snow White until, well, like, I mean, okay, I guess I'm not watching the movie, but it's gonna be bad anyway as usual. But it went from bad to terrible. It went from bad to worse. And let me explain why. The press for this movie got worse because Rachel, the voice actor for Snow White, is pretty much more evil than you get the point. But like, yeah, she said some things that upset a lot of fans, saying,
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that? I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not going to be
yeah.
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Like, okay, I get that, but Jesus Christ, do you have to mention this? Like, I don't think we have to. If you just don't mention those stuff, and the movie would be the average bad, but no, it's worse. Thanks a lot, Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler, is that her name? I don't know. I forgot her name anyway. So then we get to the other movies, the ones that are not related to the other big companies that I forgot to name, but War of the Worlds, made by the Amazon. And the reason why I talked about this movie is because I haven't even watched the movie, but like Jesus Christ, it's just made during 2020 lockdown, which explains why it's not even like. And some of the acting is off and pretty much bad, and the movie's kind of hypocritical because it's like about data stealing and stuff like that and how it's bad, but then it's made by the company Amazon Prime, so what a hypocrisy. But yeah, I'm not watching War of the Worlds because the CGI looks bad. Ice Cube's in it as the main character pretty much, but I mean Ice Cube made a good collaboration with Korn, but I mean, I may check out Ice Cube's music, but in terms of movies, like, especially War of the Worlds, maybe not. I mean, I'm not gonna check out War of the Worlds unless someone forces me to shove it in my throat. Yeah. And now we get to the movie that I did watch, Jurassic World Rebirth. I did not watch this at movie theaters, though. So, I did not watch this at cinemas until, like, this month, like, after Christmas Day, where my dad got this for Christmas, and when he and I and pretty much the family watched the movie, my mom thought it was decent, my sister was like okay with it, and it's mid. The movie's pretty mid. Like, yeah, it's just a standard action adventure movie, It's the 14 Shades of Grey of, you get the idea. It's kind of phoned in, like some dinosaurs like, the director said themselves that the dinosaurs are not their main interest, even though it's like a movie about dinosaurs. I'm like, you just get okay, yeah. And then there's one dinosaur which looks okay, but his name is pretty cursed. Like, who names him the D-saurus? Excuse me, like what? But yeah. Oh yeah, and there was a recent movie called K-Pop Demon Hunters, which was a Netflix film, and somehow people love this film because it's a movie with K-pop music in it. If only there was like a animated movie just like K-Pop Demon Hunters, but instead it was metal and had metal references and rock, like Stained reference, and then there's Trivium, and there's this and that, I get, what I mean? Hopefully my band may be the main heroes of the movie, I don't know, but other than that, the movie's design looks good, but I'm not watching the movie because my interest in movies have dropped already. And also the soundtrack is just K-pop music, and I don't have a problem with K-pop music. It's mid. In my opinion, it's just eh. And the biggest song, Golden, which I don't think should have been this big, somehow has like almost 1 billion streams, or already has 1 billion streams. Even though the only the only thing that's preventing this song from me to be likable for me is lack of dynamics. One of my college friends pointed this out, and now I cannot unhear it because, let's face it, you need dynamics for a song. You can't just go, okay, verse to verse, and then the chorus sounds just exactly like the verse, and it's just one of the big problems of this song, which prevents this song from actually working a bit. Don't mind me, okay? I'm just not a big fan of the movie, even if I do like the character designs and yeah, all that stuff. And yeah, I watched the YouTuber Cas V Toots just for summary, just in case on recent movies, so I can understand the plot without having to watch the entire movie. Cause let's face it, I'm not gonna waste my time a bit on movies right now because I have a lot of stuff to do after this. So yeah, now we go to the TV shows and YouTube shows and stuff like that. Starting off with South Park seasons 27 to 28, which released in the same year, by the way, and 5 episodes on each season. So, I thought the new seasons were okay for now. Like, I mean, it's not my favorite, but I mean, there's some good moments and then there's some meh moments. Which, I mean, thank God that South Park fan Stan Marsh finally got his own old house back, as long as he keeps the house for now. And I mean, to be fair, Donald Trump being re-elected is a bit weird. Like, in Trump's second year of presidency from 2017 to 2020, the Marshall family moved from their own old house to Integrity Farms. And what's so coincidental about the new season is that in 2025, second year of Trump's second run, they go back to first an old caretaker home with Grandpa Marsh, which we haven't seen in a while. We thought he was dead, but he's not. So, yippee! But anyways, yeah. Which then later on they got back to their house after the last episode for a Christmas Miracle. Which, I mean, I'm happy for Stan Marsh to have a Christmas Miracle, and I mean, to be said, the hanging baby represents like Epstein, which I thought was kind of interesting. And yeah, I mean it's a decent show for a South Park season. The fact that Trey and Matt said that they don't like the first 3 seasons is absurd, because why would you say that to the most funniest versions of South Park? But you get the point. I mean, they're still funny after all at some points, and they're still funny now. So yeah, it's hit or miss in this season. So, and then there's Simpsons, Family Guy's new seasons, which in the Simpsons new season there was like episode where, I mean, they occasionally do one episodes of like the family being old, and Maggie finally speaks, which is a bit nice to hear. So yeah, that's all I have to say about those. And SMG4's The End Video came out recently, and I was like, bye bye SMG4. So no SMG4. Like, I mean, he's not a bad YouTuber, it's just most of his recent content is not really interesting as much as his older videos, and yeah, it's apparent. And I mean, it's been a long run, so we will miss you, SMG4. Then there's the obvious show, The Amazing Digital Circus, which I'm not watching because I'm too bald. I mean, it doesn't look interesting to me. I mean, it's good for what it is, but as for my interests, it's not really. Yeah. Then we get to the deaths, the sad ones, the people who didn't deserve to die, whether it's a good band or a bad band. We get to the bad band, which is decent, to bad band, which is Mastodon, and they lost a good, decent guitarist here, which is Brent Hines. And even though I had some theories on this, I mean, I hated Mastodon's Leviathan and Blood Runner so much, I decided to make theories on how Brent died, and yeah, but rest in peace, Brent. Even though, I mean, your voice is not really the best, and it's kind of bad, but I mean, there's some points where your voice sounds good, where you don't push the nasal, but other than that, rest in peace, Brent. And Ozzy, rest in peace, Ozzy, because, I mean, he died of a natural age for some reason. Like, for most of the rock stars and pop stars and all that stuff, I think Ozzy was one of the first ones to die from a natural cause and not just from drugs or alcohol or anything. It's just, rest in peace, Ozzy. So yeah, I miss Ozzy with my heart. I mean, Ace Frehley, I don't know how he died, but rest in peace to him. He's one of the guitarists of Kiss, and rest in peace to Ace. So Sam Rivers from Limp Bizkit died. Now I look back at Limp Bizkit's songs, like especially Down Another Day with the bass line, which I don't get why people hate the album. Results may vary. Like, some of the music is really good, though I get why, because Fred Durst's lyrics are kind of weak and weird, but you get the point. But still, we will miss you, Sam Rivers. Rest in peace. If you want me to talk about any actors that died this year, I've forgotten which actors they are, so don't expect me to remember everyone. So, and rest in peace to one of my YouTuber friends' fathers, which is Margo Goralski's dad, which he died this year, and I feel bad for the Wyatt Goralski. I don't know whether I should call it Wyatt Goralski or Margo Goralski, but yeah, rest in peace to his father. Like, Jesus Christ, it's pretty hard to lose a father. Even if me and my father weren't always on the same page and sometimes argue a lot. It's my dad, obviously. If he were some other guy, then maybe I would have less. I mean, there's some good moments with my dad, and he's still alive. But I feel sorry for. Well, sorry. What words are there? I will. My condolences to Wyatt Goralski's family and Wyatt himself. So, rest in peace to his father. Now we get to the people who did deserve to die this year. There's only one person, and if you watch my videos for the music stuff, I don't know if people actually watch my content besides Cars content, but still, and I hope people watch my other content, but still, Ian Watkins is finally dead. Yippee! You know why he's dead? And well, okay, for context, he is a pedophile. Yep, you heard that right. Ian Watkins is a pedophile, and it's disgusting that it's the fact he was in the band Lost Prophets, and I thought there was at least one good Lost Prophets song, but the fact that I discovered that the lead singer is a terrible person makes me look at Lost Prophets' music in a different way, which is a shame because because that one Lost Prophets song I like is pretty good, but I mean, I would have loved the song if not for Ian Watkins. Jesus Christ, now I think the song is mid. Jesus Christ, Ian. Thankfully, Ian, I mean, it's not the first attempt to be murdered in prison, but thank God someone killed him in prison, because the people who killed him deserve a raise and may even... Okay, to be fair, okay, but... I mean, the best we can do for those prisoners is at least give them a medal. I mean, we cannot let them outside because they may be the same type of people as Ian, or just murderers in general, but still, you get my point. They did the deed. They killed Ian off. Thank God. Yeah. Now we get to the other events, which are deaths, but more so weird or good moments. So, and maybe even bad moments. Let me just put another note. Also, before I carry on talking about the other stuff, I also like to mention that Limp Bizkit released a recent single or two this year, and some people thought it was bad, or some people thought it was decent, some people thought it was good. I thought it was decent, so yeah. And also the Cars diecast line for 2025 was nothing really special except few. I don't know. It's just almost. I mean, there's some re-releases, but other than that, nothing special going on. I mean, there's some new things going on, like the Cars Radiator Springs race with Danny Swerve's different design and all that stuff. But other than that, don't know what to say. And I also like to point out another thing is that some new bands also have reached the best album releases. Though I'm not listening to them because first of all I need to get the others, the main ones done, which there are a lot of main ones. So yeah, like for example Dream Theater is one of the main ones which I'll listen to later. Same with Hailstorm. Ghosts, I will listen to their discography soon. Well, Whitechapel maybe soon. I don't know. Death Heaven maybe soon. I don't know. Who knows? As for what else is released this year? We have gotten as of right now, Rush has announced the 2026 live tour, so that's nice. And I have nothing else to say about Rush. But yeah, that good for them. What else? Trying to think. Because there's so many can be in my mind. And right now we have. Oh yeah, and this was the year where one of my favorite albums of all. I mean, I made a playlist of all my favorite albums of all time. If you want to listen to albums, then the best albums, then you could go to the link in below on the best albums in my opinion, in Spotify and YouTube. Because, I mean, I found one of the best, my favorite best albums of all time, which was Godspeed You Black Emperor's Antennas album. I cannot say the full name of the album because it's a mouthful, but that album is amazing. You should check it out. It's like a 10 out of 10. One of the first 10 out of 10s I've ever heard. So, yeah, back to the video. Also, I have to address the recent Megadeth singles, which are... I haven't heard them yet, but the Megadeth's gonna release a new album next year, so I will review that album soon. And also, Guns N' Roses released 2 new singles this year, meaning there's going to be a new album next year, probably. I mean, that's why they're probably in Download Festival this next year, so yeah. Back to the video. So we start off with, the corn jack-off incident. If you don't know, if you're not a Korn fan, or you don't get the joke, or if you at least heard of Moist Critical's video and watched his video about it, basically some guy in the crowd was getting off, if you get the point. He's beating it upright, coming undone to Korn, and whoa, this is a bit bad for the person, because Jesus Christ, there were kids in the audience. Jesus Christ, what the hell, bro? Who does that in a Korn concert? Like, Jesus Christ, you're in public. I mean, if you're at home and watching a Korn concert and doing this, that's fine. But if you're doing this in public, don't do it in public. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, that maniac. Anyways, now we get to the... And then another bad thing, that was a weird one, and then we get to the bad ones. For Schlep versus Roblox. Schlep's a good YouTuber who's, like, clearly making sure that all the predators in Roblox is arrested, so that Roblox can be a safe place. And that's good, but Roblox, however, decides to block Schlep, I'll just say that. And the manager for Roblox is a confusing man. Like, Jesus Christ, he says, and I quote, we thought the predators were an opportunity. Dude, what the hell? What? Okay, we need the Roblox people, like, especially the manager and the head owner, to be checked. His computer needs to be checked, because... And the fact that the Roblox game developers wanted to change the game to a dating site, and the fact that it was originally considered to be 17 plus, big red flag, everyone. Jesus Christ, what the hell? Yikes. Yeah, I hope Schlep wins, because Jesus Christ, the Roblox is not gonna get away with us. If they do, we're screwed. Now we get to the good moments of the other events I'm not involved in, and events I'm not really, but I heard of, but I'm not really involved. So, Soundgarden was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yippee! I mean, Soundgarden made an amazing album from 1994, like, which was like, Super Unknown, which is one of my favorite albums to this day, and honestly, the Soundgarden album is amazing. I'll just say that. And I mean, there's some great Soundgarden albums and there's some good ones, but overall, Soundgarden deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cause I mean, how long has it been since Soundgarden released the 1994 album? They should have been inducted immediately, or at least, well, actually, they should have been inducted a bit earlier, like 2011 or something. But yeah, thank God Soundgarden's inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And speak of other good events, Black Sabbath's last concert Back to the Beginning, what I heard from other audiences, or other people in YouTube, they said it was one of the best concerts ever. And I mean it too. I was even in the concert and I knew that even though, and Black Sabbath, and there are other bands performing covers and their own songs like Tool, Lamb of God, and Judas Priest, I think, was also there. And a lot of great bands were performing with Black Sabbath, and it was a great festival concert thing, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Right, and what else happened this year? Okay, now we get to the events I was involved in. And those are good events, by the way. So, for Download, I went to Download Festival 2025, and I mean, there's some good tribute bands I went to this year, but less than last year. But overall, oh yeah, keep in mind the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames that I would have been fine with being inducted anyway was like Joy Division or New Order, and maybe Outkast and Oasis, and Billy Idol and the White Stripes, and maybe Mariah Carey, which I would be fine with, but Soundgarden deserved the induction, so I'm glad they did. So, as for the Download 2025, there were some great bands performing. I got to see Green Day live, Weezer live, Jimmy Eat World live, Rise Against live, and I sadly did not get to see Apocalyptica live at all, so I got to see 7 hours After Violet, which is the bassist of System of a Down's side project, which were pretty good live, to be honest. Jerry Cantrell, I saw him live with performing some Alice in Chains songs, which I enjoyed. What else did I see? I got a bit of Poppy, to be honest. I got to see a bit of Poppy and a bit of Sleep Token before. I mean, I heard Poppy's music from the toilets, Jesus Christ, because they were that loud. Sorry if I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I sadly did not get to see Within Temptation because they were playing at the same time as Green Day. But that's fine because I hope I get to see Within Temptation soon. The Darkness, I saw The Darkness as well, which is a good band to live, even if I didn't know some songs. I got to see Justin Hawkins as well. And we got to, and he gave out his phone number to everyone, and thankfully I have his phone number, but I cannot text him, Jesus Christ, because back then I didn't have internet, and I still cannot message him for some strange reason. So, though my mom successfully messaged him, and he's like, nice. But anyways, what else did I see in Download with my mom? And I get to see Eagles of Death Metal. They're okay. There's some bad songs, there's some okay, good songs, and you get the point idea. I got to see Airborne, not Alien Ant Farm. Jesus Christ. Airborne is pretty much AC/DC's copycat. I don't get why people like them. I don't get why they love them. And Jesus Christ. But anyways, what else did we see? I got to see Bullet from a Valentine and Korn. Bullet from a Valentine performed most of their first album live, and I was like just amazed at how good it was. I was like singing along almost everywhere because I didn't know all the words, but I knew each song because I loved each of them. So yeah, and for the Korn concert, I brought a bag of popcorn with me. Okay, you know what I mean. As for Victorious Festival, I only saw like 3 bands. 2 of them I know of. One of them made that one song called Ruby, Ruby. You know that one. If you know what that song is, let me know in the comments because I forgot which band was it. I think it was Kaiser Chiefs and I got to see Queens of Stone Age live twice. The second time. Last year was like the first time, now it's in the second. And I'm gonna see them the third time because my sister keeps on insisting to watch them. Thankfully, for the third time of Queens of Stone Age, I will get to see the first time of System of a Down next year, as well as Acid Bath. So and next year's download is gonna be really good because there's gonna be Linkin Park and Guns N' Roses and Limp Bizkit. Probably my second time watching Limp Bizkit live. Oh, and speaking of Limp Bizkit, I was glad to see Limp Bizkit in 2024 before Sam Rivers died. I was glad to see Sam Rivers perform live. I think the festival was right. I mean, we were kind of close to Queens of Stone Age, but my mom insisted on staying in that place even though we should have moved forward like a normal person, but no. Like, there was plenty of space, but we couldn't go because Jesus Christ. But yeah, hopefully next year's festivals are gonna be really. Oh, and I almost forgot to put this in the video, but the Epstein files were leaked. Courtney Love is in the Epstein files according to my sister's friends and my sister herself. And my sister says, I knew Courtney Love was suspicious. Like, I mean, it's shocking. I mean, if Courtney Love was a victim, then okay, but if she was one of the villains, then oh boy, this is not going to look good on her. And it may make some Kurt Cobain fans who don't like Courtney very happy. But yeah, how the hell did the people involved with the crimes, including Trump, have not been arrested? Because, like, they were with Epstein, and the fact that most of it was blacked out is surreal. Like, you should show the truth. You should only black out the victims' names because the victims are uncomfortable, not the perpetrators. Jesus Christ, what the hell? However, for some reason, even though I don't have the documents, because I cannot find them, and people couldn't even bother to share the link because there's some who did, but the links are way too long to load. And apparently if you copy and paste some of the blacked out messages and put them into a Word document, the words aren't exactly blacked out. Apparently they put a black shade over the words, which oh my god, out of my head. But yeah, but Jesus Christ, wow, I didn't know the government was that. The US government was a bit that dumb. I don't want to offend them, but at the same time, it's the US government, so, and I'm from UK, so. But yeah, how the hell did they screw this one up? Actually, whoever did this is a good guy, because now we get to copy and paste every single thing and put it out there so that we can properly understand and know who's involved. So yeah. And now we get to the notes. I got into a lot of bands this year, especially bands like Creed, Nickelback. I listened to their entire discographies, and most of the music is pretty good. Though when I got into Johnny Pool, I didn't like the later stuff, and obviously for good reason, because they're not like And there's other great bands, Chevelle, what else? Lamb of God, Smashing Pumpkins, Stained. Oh yes, I was so happy to listen to Stained. In fact, I listened to it at the Drive-In's best album, which was like Relationship of Command and the Mars Volta's first two albums, because some YouTuber Rocked. I'm glad that Rocked recommended me those albums, because he unintentionally he unintentionally recommended 14 Shades of Grey, and I had to check the album out in case if it's good, and based on the melodies, it's pretty solid for the 14 Shades of Grey, even if the lyrics are pretty weak, but you get the idea. So yeah, and not only that, I got into a lot of bands and I listened to a lot of albums. So much albums that my head is going to explode, so I may need to take a break at some point. So yeah, I may need to take a break on listening to music and focus on cars videos. I collected a lot of albums this year. I collected like, I got five albums for Christmas I mean, two Sum 41 albums and one Korn album, and Korn debut album, and Stain's fifth album, and Silverchair's third album, which is the first Silverchair album I got, thankfully, and which was for Christmas. And I got, one of my friends gave me Nine Inch Nails' Downward Spiral album, which I'm glad he did, because oh yeah, I got into Nine Inch Nails as well. So, and they're pretty a great band. So yeah, and I discovered that I didn't have to buy the Creed album because we already got them, most of them. So yeah, and I mean, we got some Nickelback albums, and I also got into Trivium in this year, and I got Trivium's second, third, and fourth albums, and I got more Deftones albums, a bit like Adrenaline and Diamond Eyes and Koi no Yokan. I got Sepultura's two best albums, Chaos AD and Roots. I wish I got Dante XII. Jesus Christ, Dante XII is really good. And actually the first five Stone Temple Pilots albums I got were from last year, so yeah. And yeah, I've got a lot of good albums and some mixed albums, like Mastodon. I didn't collect the Mastodon, my sister did, so. And I had to buy some Mastodon albums from my mom and my sister, so. I mean, mostly my mom, but still. But yeah. And then a bad thing happened to me this year. I got tricked on the internet. Yeah. I won't say what trick it is specifically, because if I do, my parents are gonna kill me. But let's just say a digital loss of money. Scam. Yeah, I lost money, Jesus Christ. So yeah, those are the notes. And for the good news, my band's debut album, Victims of Zero's debut album, Death by Destruction, came out 4 months ago this year. And we finally released an album, and we made it, and hopefully next year we're gonna release the deluxe edition and more music coming up. Hopefully we're gonna tour. So yeah, this is a pretty positive year for my band to actually release an album. I mean, some of the last songs I had to record some songs in a rush, the last few songs, especially Bums Away, where I was like out of breath because I forgot to turn the fan on, and that's why most of the mixing is pretty rough, but still you get the point. As for what to expect of next year, for those Cars users, you may expect me to make videos of like Thunder Hollow Racers, all scenes of them, and Planes Racers if you show me the link. Jesus Christ, nobody bothers to show me links because I cannot. Because for the life of me, the planes are pretty complicated in terms of, and possible 1950s racers, which is gonna be short anyway, because you know. And you're gonna expect more tier list videos, whether it's Pixar movies or music. And I'm gonna do more and I'm gonna do like a soundtrack for the Cars 4 fan made film, because I have a laptop. I can do proper music now instead of making bad EPs. Speaking of EPs, I may do the last DFD Demos EP with my DFD Demos project. So yeah, and you may expect a solo EP as well coming out by me, because it's for a college project. So and you're gonna expect more live performances by my band Victims of Zero, only in the UK, because we don't have enough money to tour around the whole world. Jesus Christ, we're not that big, but you know. I wish we were big. If you just check the band out, hopefully, and my band will carry on recording our second studio album, because most of the band members are going to be in uni, and I'm gonna still be in college for at least one more year. And yeah, and as for my band will release deluxe edition of a debut album with extra songs, B-sides, and songs that I've just recently made whilst, you know, preparing for the album, as well as, and last but not least, the Cars 4 fan-made film to at least be made, at least the prologue, like the prologue, you know, when there's no college, of course, because college is going to take a living stress and I need to focus on music and all the college work, and obviously I'm a busy man, so I don't make videos as much. So, and I'm unlike most people who make a lot of videos, I have to focus on what I'm doing, so, you know, and sometimes I'm too lazy to do some stuff. Like, if I were to promote my music, I would have to wait until the last minute because I don't know how to well, I know how to promote it, it's just I don't know what to promote, like what to do it with. Like, I need to, like, I kind of need help with promotion, but at the same time I don't want people saying, oh, we could help promote, and then I waste my money again. So also, in what to expect for next year, you will expect more of me reviewing bad and terrible albums, in my opinion, that other people also dislike or I dislike in general, only me or something like that, which is like the Landfill collection, which I have a lot of stuff to go through, and you will, and after Mastodon's Leviathan, you will have to, I mean, you have to request any albums next on what you think is terrible, and then I will either check it out, or I will or if I already heard the album, then yeah, I will review it soon if I'm not busy. And in terms of good albums, like albums that many people hate but are underrated, I will review, which is the Condemned Classics. I'll start that soon, as well as the gray area, where it's like albums I find decent but many people either love or hate. And yeah, and I mean, critically love, critically hate, and all that stuff, so on, you know. Weezer's Radically Hated, or Rage Against the Machine's third album is Love, but I think it's decent. And then we get to my all-time legendary favorite albums, which if based on the playlists and Spotify streamings, you can name at least a great album in your opinion, or just in general in history, and I will review it and explain why I love the album, obviously. So yeah, back to the video. Yeah, this year was a mediocre year because there are some good moments, like good albums, especially Nine Inch Nails' recent album. But then there's the bad moments with like Taylor Swift's recent album, and the fact that I lost money, and also good moments where my band's Victim Zero, even though some of the scales and production is a bit rough, the album is pretty solid. Even if there's too many songs, I regret some songs because there's way too much, and some songs are considered filler. But you get the idea. You get the idea. So overall, I hope next year is gonna be an amazing year. I mean, in few days, I may check out there's some good albums coming next year. Like, oh yeah, you may expect short reviews on music, movies, and TV shows if I watch them, and seasons. Like, for example, if South Park makes season 29. I'll review each episode in a YouTube short without showing clips, obviously, because I don't want copyright. And the only things I have to show clips or like stuff is like the scenes of specific racers, and short reviews on 2026 albums inspired by the YouTuber Rocked. Cause let's face it, I'm not just a cars user. I'm a YouTuber who can appeal to a lot of fan bases. If those fan bases listen and pay attention to more than just one section of one portion of my YouTube channel, which is mainly cars, but at the same time I want basically I want my videos to not just be focused on cars, and I try to make my videos focused on more stuff, but at the same time I don't want people to just skip those videos and just go straight to the cars videos only and make those big. And I mean, it's disappointing that most people only watch the videos from my cars videos, and not music where I talk about the music and that stuff. Yeah, This is Emphasis Noise of A.K.A. Brains. See you next year.